Mayhem, the Mongols Motorcycle Club wants a new trial and says its former leader,
biker gang accused of killing another gang member in Palm Harbor back in April.
Who admits he shot and killed Pomona SWAT officer Sean Diamond back in 2014.
Real-life characters of Mayans MC. Get set for a journey that takes us from the drama-filled world of Mayans MC right into the heart of real-life motorcycle club culture. We're turning off the TV and stepping into reality, revealing the uncanny parallels between the characters you've come to love and the real-world figures from the notorious Mongol MC. Number 1. Reyes and David Santillan, Lil Dave. David Santillan, also known as Lil Dave, was born into a world far removed from the roar of motorcycle engines and the brotherhood of the Mongols Motorcycle Club. His story began in the United States, where he was born into a family that was not very wealthy. His parents worked hard to make ends meet and prioritize their children's education, believing it to be their ticket to a better life. David was no exception to this. The value of education was instilled in him from a young age, shaping his journey and laying the groundwork for his future. As a young boy, David, along with his siblings, had to move to another city to pursue their education. This period of their lives helped forge a strong bond between them. It was this connection, the shared experiences and mutual understanding, that would later reflect in David's leadership of the Mongols Motorcycle Club. David was a man committed to family, evident in his long-term marriage and the close relationships with his children. Despite the fame he would later gain, only a few of his children are known by his surname, reflecting a desire for privacy and normalcy in their lives. After graduating from college, David stepped into the world of business. He started his career in the clothing industry, a path that was as demanding as it was rewarding. In the late 90s, David Santillan found a new direction in life. He joined the Mongols Motorcycle Club, a group founded in Montebello in the 1970s, known for their camaraderie and rebellious spirit. Despite the club's reputation as an outlaw motorcycle gang, Santillan was attracted to the sense of brotherhood and the allure of the open road. Santillan joined the Mongols in 1997, marking a significant turning point in his life. He was a short, well-built man with tattoos that climbed above the neck of the collared shirt and blue suit he wore to court, making him a distinctive figure within the club. Just a year later, his commitment and loyalty earned him a place in the Mother Chapter, the governing body of the club. David led the Mongols Motorcycle Club during a turbulent period. His leadership was marked by the club's conviction for racketeering and conspiracy in 2018. David Santillan lived a full life of twists and turns. One of the most complex parts of his journey was his relationship with his wife, Annie Santillan. Their marriage was not always smooth, and the stormy waters they navigated were made even rougher by the life Santillan led as the president of the Mongols Motorcycle Club. One evening, feeling drunk and despondent, Santillan made a call to his wife. He confessed his infidelities and vowed to mend his ways. He promised to quit drinking, be a better father to their children, and leave his indiscretions behind him. It was a desperate plea for forgiveness, a cry for a second chance. However, the conversation took a dark turn when Santillan mentioned John Ciccone, an agent with the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, who had been investigating the Mongols for years. Santillan hinted at an exit strategy, hinting at the possibility of him working as a confidential informant. Unbeknownst to him, his wife was secretly recording the conversation, capturing his every word, every confession. Annie, hurt and angry, did something that would change their lives forever. She sent the recording to 2 members of the Mongols, revealing her husband's secret talks of the government agent. In her message, she labeled her husband as a rat, a snitch. This set off a chain of events that would lead to Santillan's excommunication from the club, stripping him of his title and his brotherhood. Despite these challenges, the couple found a way to reconcile. They put their divorce proceedings on hold and decided to live together again. While the world of television drama often draws from reality, it's not every day that real-world characters inspire their on-screen counterparts. But this is exactly what happened when the creators of the hit TV series Mayans MC crafted the character of Reyes. His inspiration? None other than David Santillan, a key figure in the notorious Mongols Motorcycle Club. Reyes, the lead character in Mayans MC, echoes many of these same traits. Like Lil Dave, Easy's character is not just a brute on a bike, he's a thinker, a strategist, dealing with the same struggles and realities that Lil Dave had to navigate in his own life. Both men had to reconcile their personal ambitions with the hard realities of life in a motorcycle club, and both did so with a mix of strength, intelligence, and dignity. Angel Reyes, Clayton Cardenas, and Scott Jr. Erickson. Scott Jr. Erickson was once just a young boy with a fascination for the biker lifestyle. He first encountered this world on a seemingly ordinary day in San Diego back in 1974, when he was out fishing with a friend at a local lake. That peaceful day took a turn when a stranger rode up on a Harley. The biker, an unknown figure, approached them, parking his motorcycle and taking a dip in the lake. He then proceeded to carve something into a nearby tree, an act that left an indelible mark on young Scott. The stranger, with his leather vest and Harley, was like a cowboy from the Wild West. He had an air of freedom, strength, and brotherhood that deeply impressed Scott. The word the biker carved into the tree was the same as the one inscribed on the back of his vest: Mongols. This single word and everything it represented left a lasting impression on Scott, sparking a desire in him to be part of this thrilling world. In his later years, Scott would plunge headfirst into the world of sex, drugs, and violence that characterized the life of a Mongol, leaving his boyhood behind. It was a journey that taught him about brotherhood, love, and heartbreak, leading him across the country and into constant brushes with danger. Despite these trials, Scott remained undeterred, driven by the brand the Mongols had left on his heart that day at the lake. The year was 1980. The young Scott Erickson, just 20 years old, was filled with dreams and a thirst for adventure. His life was about to take a radical turn, and it all started in San Diego. The San Diego, or Dago chapter of the Mongols, was where Junior first set his foot on the path of the outlaw biker life. The club was his new family, the roaring engines his new symphony, and the open road his new home. In this wild world, Scott Erickson became Junior, a name that stuck with him as he climbed the ranks of the Mongols. Being part of the Mongols wasn't just about riding motorcycles. It was a life that demanded bravery, resilience, and an unbreakable bond of brotherhood. Junior proved to have all these traits when he faced prison time for the club's retaliation against the Hells Angels, another infamous biker group. The clash between these two titans was legendary, echoing throughout the biker world. This ordeal didn't break Junior. Instead, it fortified him, and at the young age of 28, he became the youngest national president of the Mongols Motorcycle Club. Imagine that, from a fresh-faced recruit to the leader of one of the most feared biker clubs in the world in just 8 years. Junior was not just a member now, he was a symbol, a leader, and a legend in the making. As national president, Junior led the club through the turbulent years of 1988 to 89, and then again from 96 to 98. His leadership was not limited to one chapter. He was a member of 7 different chapters, and even founded 3 of them. Junior was not just a member of the Mongols, he was an integral part of its backbone. Fast forward to 30 years later, and Junior remains a revered figure in the Mongols MC. He has held every office obtainable in the club, and his name is one of the most recognized and respected in the outlaw biker world. Scott Junior Erickson was the primary inspiration for the character Angel Reyes, brought to life by Clayton Cardenas in the television series Mayans MC. A remarkable aspect of Erickson's life was his loyalty to his brothers, an unwavering commitment that echoed loudly in the Mongols MC. This camaraderie served as an inspiration for Angel's relationship with his brother, EZ. The bond between Angel and EZ in the series is unbreakable, forged in the heat of shared trials, just like Erickson and his Mongols brothers. Erickson was not just a rebel, he was a thinker too. He held a deep understanding of the club's politics, using his wit to navigate through the power dynamics. This intellectual facet was translated into Angel's character, showing his cunning side, making him more than just a brawny biker. Felipe Reyes and Miguel Aceves. Before his association with the Mongols Motorcycle Club, Alfonso Miguel Aceves was a man who walked a tightrope between lawlessness and survival. By the age of 18, he was knee-deep in crime and drug dealing, a life he had found exciting and even fulfilling at the time. But then, the Vietnam War happened. He served 2 tours as part of the 101st Airborne Division. When his time in the army ended, he thought about going to college and changing his life, but that didn't happen. Instead, he found himself in a cycle of trouble with the law. It was then that he and some friends founded the Mongols Motorcycle Club. There were just 10 of them at the beginning, but they were not a group to be taken lightly. Everywhere they went, they'd end up fighting, and with each fight, their reputation grew. As their fame spread, so did their numbers, with more chapters popping up. Big Al was known for his fighting and for his willingness to do anything for money, even as it earned him enemies and led him into a destructive addiction to heroin. His life took a turn when he met and married Lorraine. Lorraine had 6 kids, and despite his worsening addiction, Big Al promised to care for them all. He started taking on bigger jobs to fund his drug habit, putting himself and his family in dangerous situations. Things got so bad that Lorraine feared she might one day receive a phone call saying her husband was dead. When they ran out of money and jobs, the family offered them a place to stay with one condition: they had to read a scripture every day. Big Al reluctantly agreed. The Bible sparked a curiosity in Big Al, a curiosity that led to a conversation about salvation. Despite his initial skepticism and the difficulty of turning his life around, Big Al accepted the Lord into his life. His commitment to change was tested when he was jailed for planning a bomb attack, but once he was out, he took his family to church, determined to stick with God. He moved into a Christian men's home and managed to kick his heroin habit. It wasn't easy, with convulsions and the urge to run, but with God's strength, he stayed and overcame his addiction. Despite numerous brushes with death, Big Al survived, believing that God had a plan for his life. Today, Big Al serves as a mentor for men seeking to find Christ and grow in God's plan for their lives. He works as a program director at the River's Edge Ranch, a facility for men's transformation. His friends now hear compassion in his voice, a major change from his past. Big Al credits this transformation to Jesus and the profound change God has made in his life. Big Al's journey was so powerful that it inspired the character of Felipe Reyes in the hit show Mayans MC. Just like Big Al, Felipe Reyes in Mayans MC also started off as a member of a notorious motorcycle club, but similarly sought redemption. Felipe's character represents the struggle for redemption and the battle against one's past. Number 4. Bishop Losa, Michael Irby, versus Ruben Cavazos. Ruben Doc Cavazos was a prominent figure in the Mongols motorcycle club. He was once a respected leader within the Mongols, serving as its president from 2002 to 2008. He was a charismatic figure, influential and strong, leading one of the most notorious motorcycle clubs in the United States. Known as Doc in the club, Cavazos was known for his forceful nature and the ability to maintain order within the ranks of the Mongols. Under his leadership, the Mongols MC expanded, both in terms of members and influence. The group asserted its power and dominance, leading to an increase in violent confrontations with other clubs, especially their rivals, the Hells Angels. However, Cavazos' reign was not to last. In 2008, he was expelled from the club on charges of stealing money from the club and conducting activities that put the club in danger. This expulsion was a shocking turn of events. Cavazos' fall from grace did not end there. In the same year, he was arrested as part of a major crackdown on the Mongols by the federal authorities. He was charged with multiple offenses, including racketeering and conspiracy to commit murder. In 2009, Cavazos pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 14 years in prison. His son, also a member of the Mongols, was sentenced alongside him. The father-son duo's arrest and subsequent conviction marked a significant setback for the Mongols MC. In the fictional world of Mayans MC, Bishop Losa shares parallels with Cavazos. Like Cavazos, Bishop too hails from a tough background, a broken home in the Salton Sea. He was taken in by his cousin, the founder of the Mayans MC, and after proving his mettle in Iraq and Pelican Bay, Bishop was given the responsibility of setting up and running the Mexicali border charter. His leadership style, much like Cavazos, is marked by fearlessness and loyalty. He was even named one of the Rey de los Mayas, or King of the Mayans, assigned to his influence within the club. But it's not just their backgrounds and leadership styles that connect these two figures. The tumultuous trajectory of Cavazos' career, which ended with him being ousted from the club and sentenced to prison, is mirrored in Bishop's journey. After serving as the president of the Santo Padre Charter for 3 seasons, Bishop finds himself demoted to vice president and later stripped of his status, much like Cavazos was voted out of his club. That's it for today's deep dive. If you enjoyed this journey through history and you're just as excited as us, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, keep the spirit going.